Hello, and welcome to EDU 525, Diverse Learners in the Online Learning Environment. In this video, I'm going to walk you through some of the navigational pieces of the course. We're starting out on the course homepage, and I'm in the student view. In the center to bottom of the page, you'll see the most recent announcements. With the most recent one on top, you'll see that there are a couple announcements in the course already. You can learn about the instructional team that will support you in this course, and you should read the Welcome to EDU 525 announcement that was posted on Monday, June 21st. Once you've read those announcements, you'll want to make sure that you keep up with reading announcements as they're posted each week. The next thing I want to highlight is in two different places, the toolbar across the top and on the right side, you find links to the Shapiro Library. This is very important. I want to go into the Shapiro Library for just a minute because I want to talk about one thing. All the work you will do in this course is at a master's level. And so with that, it is very important that you find credible resources to back your thoughts that you are sharing in your words. And you are going to use the APA formatting to do so. So if we're on the Shapiro Library website, on the left there's a section titled Quick Links. The third one down is called Citing Your Sources. And if you go to that, you'll find a whole entire section using the menu on the left on APA style. We will use APA in this course, and so part of your scoring rubrics will show you that you're going to be scored on APA, and we are going to be using the 7th edition, which is the most recent version. So you can use that guide to kind of search through and find different things on how to cite a YouTube video, a website in text. There's plenty of good information provided there on how to cite your sources. We are looking for both in-text citations and references sections to go along with each individual part of each project. Going back to the home page, I want to highlight the course menu in the top left corner. When you click course menu, there are several options that come about: announcements, learning modules, discussions, assignments, and grades. I want to focus primarily on learning modules for right now, and then we'll look at some of the other pieces later on. So if I go into learning modules, there's some valuable information. You'll first be taken to the overview of the course, where it talks about the competencies that you'll be expected to meet in this course, gives you a description, and then you can either click the Getting Started link or you can go to Getting Started over on the left. We're going to go ahead and click the link on the overview page because there's lots of information that I want to share on this page. So there's some information in terms of course maintenance, a welcome to the course syllabus. It's important that you read the syllabus. There's also a PDF of the syllabus if you would like to use that, download it and print it to hold on to as a reference throughout the course. But if you go into that, it talks about the competencies, about the program, how projects will be graded, course activities. There's a whole list of those for all 3 projects. And then you have information about how grades are distributed and how scoring is calculated and the attendance policy withdrawals. All that good information is located in the syllabus. You'll want to work on that week 1. But talking about week 1, I want to go back for just a minute because one of the items is plan your pace. If you're on the Getting Started page, you have a link to plan your pace. And so there is a pace chart that you can download and fill out on your own. But one of the things I'm going to post with this first announcement is a detailed version of this already completed with target dates. So if I bring that up, it'll be a Word document. So in week 1, you should go through all the Getting Started information that I'm sharing in this video. And you should also start to read through the directions and instructions along with the rubric for Project 1. All that should be done in week, which is June 28th through July 4th. From there, in week 2, you should be going through the Unit 1-1 and 1-2 resources. In week 3, you should be going through the 1-3 and 1-4 resources. And then that gives you 2 weeks to write a rough draft, revise the rough draft, and get Project 1 submitted. So if you look down through the table, you'll see that every 5 weeks you're submitting a different project. There are 3 projects total in the course, and I've listed it out so that if you follow this schedule, you'll have at least 2 to 3 weeks to write a rough draft, revise it, and get it submitted, and you'll still finish the course at least a week early. And that leaves you time to be flexible in case you have vacations, in case life situations happen. Maybe it takes you a little bit longer on a project or you run into some other obstacles. This way you're not trying to do everything at the very end. Now notice at the top of this table that these are target dates. We do not have due dates in this course, but you do want to make sure you pace yourself out so that you're not trying to do everything all at the same time, and especially in the last week. There are very detailed requirements that go into each project, and we're going to start by looking at the information on project 1. So if I go back to course menu and go to learning modules again, once you get into learning modules, over on the left you can see a table of contents, but you can go down to project 1 and click on project 1, and that gives you an overview. It gives you some instructions, but most importantly there are 3 links in the middle of the page: the project 1 instructions and rubric, and then the public project discussion and private discussion. I want to talk about those 3 items real quick. First, the public project. As you're working on a project, maybe you have a question about something that deals with that project, and it's something that you think many other individuals in the course would benefit from. So if that's the case, you would post that to the public project discussion. We'll respond to it, and then that way everyone can see the response, and it's kind of like a frequently asked questions type concept. Excuse me. The private project discussion is for you and I to interact with as we work throughout the course if you have a specific question about different items as you work to complete the projects. So that is only seen by the faculty. It's not seen by other students in your course. There are then the Unit 1 and Unit 2, Unit 1-1 and 1-2 resources below. They include a variety of websites, videos, articles, all kinds of different things, some different quizzes to kind of, you'll use the information in the unit resources to really help you start putting together your project. A lot of these have the citations you need. You can look at the questions to kind of get a good idea of what is in each resource, and you'll use citations from that. Now you probably have to go out and get some of your own citations as well, but this is a really good start to help you get going with the project. So I'm going to use the breadcrumb trail at the top to go back to Unit 1-1, and then more specifically we're going to look at, I'm actually going to go to the Project 1 instructions, and this is what's very important. So I want to go into Project 1, and with that I want to scroll down, and I'm not going to go into details this week. I'll go into more details about Project 1 next week. But each one of the project pages has a scenario that goes along with the project. It gives specific directions for each part. In Project 1, you actually have 2 parts that you'll be working on. It tells you what to submit, and then most will have a supporting materials where you have resources that you have to download. In this case, you have to look at the perimeters template, and you also have to look at the student profile data to put your Project 1 together. And then finally, the project rubric. Each one of the projects has a detailed project rubric, and this is what we as faculty use to score your submissions. So my suggestion to you is, as you write your rough draft, when you're finished, take this rubric and score yourself. Now this is an all or nothing type situation. So if you're kind of looking at one of the criteria on the rubric and you say, well, I sort of meet this, but I sort of don't, or I didn't meet this, then you don't get credit for that specific item. So it's either achieved or not achieved. There's not like a half credit for each item. You have to fully meet the requirements for each item in the rubric. And so each of the 3 projects have a detailed scoring rubric. But I just wanted to give you an overall orientation to some important pieces of the course, and I'm excited about working with you this semester. Please reach out to me via email if you have any questions.